Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Positivity. I am your host, Zykia McCoy. Here at Cooking with Positivity, we like to focus on positivity leading to success, whether that be in your business, in your love life, or in your everyday decision making. Happy Tuesday. It is Book and Bite Tuesday, and this is the place where food meets literature, reflection meets conversation, and stories are shared one page and one plate at a time. Throughout the month of June, we are celebrating Men's Month here on Cooking with Positivity, and our word of the month is legacy. Now, when people hear legacy or think of the word legacy, they immediately think money, property, or wealth. But legacy is also wisdom, influence, love. Legacy is lessons. Legacy is what continues to grow because someone invested in you. And today's episode explores that idea through both poetry and food. Now, today's Book and Bite is centered around reflection, memory, connection, and presence. We are revisiting my poem, He Was Sent to Me. If you guys remember, we had this poem featured as a Book and Bite in April. Now, this poem is from my poetry book, Him, available on Amazon. And this poem explores themes of divine timing, emotional recognition, healing through connection, protection, partnership, and understanding the value of someone's presence. Sometimes people enter our lives at exactly the moment we need them. Sometimes you don't realize the impact of a connection until much later. And sometimes what feels ordinary becomes part of our legacy. And today's bite, because every book and bite needs a bite. And pairing with this poem is one of my favorite comfort foods. And it's my fall off the bone ribs. Now, as many of you know, this recipe was originally featured in Speak Up Sis magazine and also shared on the ZRZ Catering Food Passion blog. Now, when people think about summer, they often think about vacations, festivals, ice cream, funnel cakes, and cookouts. And for me, nothing says summer quite like ribs, okay? Now, whether you're cooking on the grill or you're preparing indoors, ribs has a way of bringing people together. Family gatherings, celebrations, conversations around the table, cookouts. Those memories become part of our story and eventually part of our legacy. Now, for this recipe, you'll need ribs, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, black pepper, smoked paprika, sazon, fresh garlic, beef broth, barbecue sauce, which I will give you the recipe for on my blog, corn on the cob, and roasted potatoes. Now, as always, here on Cooking with Positivity, we share the inspiration and the ingredients during the episode. For your complete printout of the grocery list, the recipe card, and additional food content, make sure you go and visit ZRZ Catering Food Passion blog. And if you'd like access to the complete cooking demo, make sure you are subscribed to Cooking with Positivity. You not only get food demos. You also get access to movie night, and you get access to exclusive polls, exclusive merch, and it's only $1.99 a month. So make sure you guys check it out. Now, one thing that I love most about food is how it carries memory. One bite can remind you of a person, a season, a kitchen conversation, a moment in your life. Poetry does the same thing. A poem can transport you back to a feeling, a lesson, a relationship, a moment that helps shape who you are. When I think about ribs, I think about family gatherings and community. When I think about this poem, I think about recognizing the value, someone who shows up with intention. Both remind me that legacy isn't always built through grand gestures. Sometimes it's built through presence. Sometimes it's built through consistency. Sometimes it's built through simply being there. And now it's time for our book, aka our poem. He was sent to me. Dipped in the blood, he was sent to me. Prayers answered, he was created for me. With the purpose of protection, never will he let harm come to me. Adorned from his rib, I serve as his nourishment. When he comes home, I bare my bosoms for his head to rest. With me, he lay down his burden as I provide him therapeutic solace. Give him the energy he needs to face the world. Provide him with the knowledge that is here is always home. This poem will also act as my contribution to this month's Verses and Vibes. So this is my poem for our Verses and Vibes session with Poetically Enigmatic. You will hear her feature poem on one of these Thursdays. And then later on in the month, you will hear us get together and discuss the emotions, themes, inspirations, and personal connections inspired by each of our work. Because poetry isn't just meant to be read, it's meant to be experienced, discussed, and felt. And sometimes revisited with new understanding. Now, if this poem resonated with you, I encourage you to visit our writing blog, Zykia McCoy, the author, For the Love of Words. I know it's a mouthful, but trust me, you will find so much more over there. You will get deeper reflections on the poem, behind the scenes thoughts about the writing process, journal prompts, additional commentary, reader discussions, and occasional special offers connected to my books. Now, sometimes a poem says one thing on the page and something completely different in the heart of a reader. I love creating that space for those conversations. Now, because June is Father's Month and we have not yet selected our official book club book, I wanted to share an additional poem. Although our journey was short-lived, the lessons were learned. You showed me how a man walks, tall, on the outside of a woman, keeping her protected from the outside elements. He taught me how a man is supposed to treat a woman, directly, provide for her, make sure she wants for nothing. Indirectly, don't take her love for granted, because once you lose her, You'll spend a lifetime searching for it elsewhere. He taught me to never accept the bare minimum. A father he was, the greatest if you ask me. Although our journey was short, at times it was also sweet. Happy Father's Day and RIP. This is the poem Father Figure. I wrote this poem, I want to say, about 5 years ago. And now, for you that don't know, I lost my father at the age of 15. So, Father's Day and just the month of June is a bit difficult. But I often find myself writing pieces to reflect on our relationship, reflect on his impact in my life, and reflect on the time that we have. Now, before we get out of here, I wanted to extend an invitation because, again, we have not selected our June book club title yet. And because this is Men's Month, I would love the opportunity to feature a male author. Now, if you are an author or know an author who would like their work featured on Clickable Positivity, reach out, or you can just send us your book, tell us your story. We do hold a book club discussion at the end of the month. And this month we are especially looking and interested in books that explore fatherhood, growth, identity, leadership, resilience, and relationships and personal journeys. There are still times to become this month's featured book selection. Okay? And while we're talking about books, don't forget to check out my episodic series, Man Running Scared, available on Amazon. Now, Kevin believes he's finally found the woman of his dreams. Jessica is beautiful, intelligent, and interested in building something real. But as the relationship grows, Kevin begins to notice things he may have overlooked. Now, he must decide whether to continue moving forward or save himself before it's too late. If you enjoy relationship-centered storytelling, suspense, and emotional twists, make sure you check it out. And as we continue through June, I want everyone to keep our word of the month in mind. Legacy. What are we building? What are you building? What lessons are you passing on? What memories are you creating? What impact are you leaving behind? Because legacy isn't just about what people remember after you're gone. It's about what continues because you were here. And as we move through today, remember, sometimes connection doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in timing and understanding and support and presence. And sometimes it feels like something or someone was simply sent your way. This has been Book and Bite Tuesday. Thank you for tapping in. Please remember to share. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Help us spread this positive movement. And please remember to vote for me in the favorite chef competition. All links will be available in the description of this episode. And make sure you tap into Book and Bite every month here, where food meets reflection and poetry meets memory. And until next time, I hope everybody has a great and positive rest of their day and a great and positive rest of their week.